once again. We're talking about financial literacy here. And today we're not talking about just getting this into classrooms like adult education or community kind of programs, but how do we get this into your school systems? That is what we're going to be delving into in this video. Part of getting this into schools is understanding the nature of schools. So sadly, oftentimes, if you're approaching a school system, they're going to give you all the obstacles right off the bat. Oh, we can't because blah, blah, blah. Understanding that and being prepared for that, as we're going to be talking about that. Two, partnering with other people. There's power in numbers. You want to be able to make the business case. So you're partnering with business people. We'll be discussing that. Utilizing resources that are readily made. Coming with a plan. We'll talk about how all these things play in and more next. You would think that school systems would, by their nature, would be open to creative ideas and adding more and finding a need and going, yes, let's address it. But sadly, and I've experienced this far too often, schools are immediately going to tell you why they can't do something. You might find an individual within the school is like, oh, this is a great idea, but there's so many layers and groups that are needed to have decisions made. There's no like the buck stops here kind of thing, right? Even superintendents go to the school board, and then the school board's a group of people who go to their constituents, the parents, and there's a process. And very often, the very first thing you get in this process is all the reasons it can't happen, right? It's a great idea. Yeah, oh, I agree with you, but, and then boom, 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 right? This is one of the challenges. Understanding this, knowing this is the nature of the beast, you can begin to prepare for that and really understand what the reasons are behind that. All right. So when you understand that, that shapes your plan, that shapes your own mindset. But it is something that you need to have a heads up on. Partnering with other people is crucial for this, right? If you can find some other community leaders, other parents, business leaders, anybody there, and get them on your side, it makes a huge difference. And I'll tell you, I was a beneficiary of one of these in that one of the districts I ended up going to work for created the shell of a program, an idea program for their district because two parents said, there's nothing for my sons in this school district. We need something different. And they partnered together, the two of them, right? They got some other people, but it's primarily these two families, these two parents that pushed and got this program created that then they hired me to run it. And I worked in that district and ran this program and kind of adapted it over the next 18 years. But that's that power of that. In my own case, I remember being in another district where I was hired just before school started in order to work with another teacher who was just hired before school started to run a program that was created by two teachers the year before to start that year, and then they both left at the very end of the summer. Kind of gives you an idea where that district was at as well. So happened that that district was also my hometown. Well, we were dealt a tough hand, but instead of like hanging my head and all this stuff, I ended up partnering with some other people within the school to create something that became a day treatment program the next year, right? I presented the program, I had some backings, had some other people show the problem, and we were able to get it done, made it happen. Partnering with people is a powerful tool to utilize. Now, as I said at the very beginning of this video, is likely to be presented with all kinds of obstacles, and you need to view those obstacles as opportunities, right? Each one, there's a message kind of behind it. Oh, we don't have trained teachers. oh, we can't fit it into our schedule. We don't really have the budget. All of those things are excuses, ideas that we just don't want to spend the time, money, effort, whatever to get this done. If you can present something and take that information, and this is kind of what I've done, understanding, like in my planting possibility program that I bring to schools, understanding that schools don't want to disrupt their schedule. You have a lot of teachers who don't like change at all. Understanding that people often don't have the mindset training or the financial literacy training. How can we solve those problems? When you come at it with that and you look at those obstacles as opportunities to actually maybe make a program even better, to get it in there, that will open up so many more doors. And that's that kind of thinking. And again, it goes right back to your mindset that we need to have. Those aren't obstacles, they are impetuses for creative thinking and problem solving. Part of what we may want to be doing in framing, and this is kind of can tie back in the partnership, is the business community. The business community can have great influence on the schools. And when you begin to frame this as necessary for the community and the workforce and the overall well-being of the community, not just the students alone, but when you think of it beyond just the schools and the impact on businesses, you can get them on board, and getting them on board is going to help smooth out so many more problems, because very often the business people are also leaders in the community. They have some financial resources. They can get other businesses involved as well. You get that ripple effect going through the community. So you definitely want to be thinking about who the business leaders are and try to bring them into this, showing them how and why it's so necessary. And that's part of that synergy building. But business leaders are very powerful allies in getting anything uh, like this into your school system. There are so many resources out there to help you build a curriculum. There are even existing curriculums out there that you can find, and then you can look through those. Maybe you even have to invest a little bit of money out of your own pocket to go through one so you can see what else is being taught and give you more ideas. But there are countless books out there. There's tons of articles out there. You've got my videos. I have a bunch of videos, right? All of these resources are available for you to begin to formulate your plan of action, right? How are you going to get this into schools? You could potentially shape a curriculum for your district and go, look, this is how it can operate. This is what we can do to get teachers ready to do it. It doesn't, there's no reason why we can't begin to implement it. Once we get it started, sure, maybe we can improve it as we go along. I hope that's what you do with all your lessons, etc., etc. But I would start right off. You start Googling it, use AI to help you even create them, get all these resources to outline a structured plan that you can, with your partners, the people you're partnering with, go with something ready to sell to them, right? That is going to be the best way. And by sell, I don't necessarily mean sell, although, hey, as an entrepreneur, if you can sell it, fantastic as well. But you kind of get the idea. This is what you need to get into your school system. Here's how we can do it. Here are the resources we already have available to help train your teachers to implement right away. So encourage you to kind of look for that, use those resources, Google, right, internet, there's tons of them. Yes, even the local library. And yes, the locals in your community who are financial planners, etc. They have tons of resources. And the government has lots of resources. Use them, put them together. You know, as we finish this particular one, it makes me think about another video we have, and that is what barriers are making financial literacy unsuccessful. And this video is talking really kind of about one of those, and that's getting into schools and the barriers that schools put up. So I encourage you, as always, subscribe to our channel, check out that other video, check out all our other videos. But when you subscribe, share this, Send it to somebody else. There are countless people who need to hear these messages. So I'm encouraging you to do that. Join me in my mission to spread the word about the power of mindset, financial literacy, and so much more.